Last week started with me saying that the Joker was wild. This week we finally come to fruition on everything that's been building for quite some time.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
Gotham, episode 18. Now that's entertainment. And I have to say, it really was. Now, there's been a lot going on this season. Well, this whole series. But this season we've watched as Gotham's gotten a little bit darker, but also a little bit more comic-y, with the fact that all the villains have kind of quasi-united to rain down terror on the city, and Gotham PD is well outmatched at this point. But last week the end result was something new. Well, something old, I should say. Joker gas. So, now that we have Joker gas, all bets are off. But wait, before we get too far into this, what I do here, in case you don't know, is review stories. I do them as they come out, TV shows, movies, that sort of thing. I do Throwback Thursdays every other Thursdays, and theory videos on Sunday. If that sounds interesting, click subscribe, because we're going to go into Gotham. And right now, the shadow of Ra's al Ghul is still falling across Gotham, and I still say something's coming with that, and a lot more than just an all-female League of Assassins. Tonight's Barbara stuff, we'll talk about that in the spoiler section. But, for now, I hope that you're ready, because we're going to throw this up there, and we're going to kick this off.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. Ba-da-na-na.
Team Arkham is still on their drive everyone mad plan. But before we get to that, Alfred gives Bruce a car. And not just any car, a matte black bulletproof one. Now, if there's ever a thing that totally transcends versions of Batman, it's the Batmobile. And this, much like Bruce has a proto-Batsuit, is a proto-Batmobile. You know we don't have time to rest on our laurels, though, because Penguin goes to Gordon and says, hey, look, Jerome's nuts, and gives him some very limited stuff. But, in reality, I honestly believe him. He wants Jerome stopped. Penguin and Joker aren't really the same type of criminal. But the reign of terror is just starting. Because Jerome and the others have the mayor and, some other people, and are holding them hostage in some band play out. Calling Captain Gordon. Calling Captain Gordon. And for once we can actually see what Jerome's planning. It's actually pretty ingenious if you think about it. He sent the two chemists, Freeze and Scarecrow, to make more laughing gas. But he needed a distraction, asking for his brother and Bruce Wayne. Now, yeah, there's multiple levels of this plan, but it was pretty ingenious. Meanwhile, we get a little side plot where Barbara's starting to utilize the League of Assassins while the female members. I do wonder if that's Lady Shiva, or if we're ever going to find out for sure. But they want her to continue Ra's legacy, and she doesn't even have the first clue what the League of Assassins is supposed to be. So, I don't know. Kind of ambivalent. It's a cool concept, there's some good idea there, but I don't know. I just think that there could be more. So in our main story, Jerome has everyone where he wants him with a dead man switch. And that's a rather interesting scenario, especially when Gordon says we don't negotiate with terrorists, but then of course does. Because what do you do with a dead man switch? So it's Bruce's birthday, actually, and that's why the car is the gift. But Alfred's celebrating it when guess who shows up? Selina. Oh, I didn't even know it was your birthday. It's just a coincidence I stopped by. I was in the neighborhood, because, they're just in the neighborhood. When Gordon shows up and is all like, we've got a plan, but we need you to be the hostage. And Bruce, of course, says, all right, let's go do this. And then he gives this great speech that convinces Jerome's brother to do it, too. He sits there and he says, we need to prove to Gotham that the only way to stand up to terror is to literally stand up to it. Become a symbol. So, okay. Then, of course, the big confrontation comes, and the plan doesn't work, because any plan that gets explained to you isn't going to work. That's the rule. And even though they were trying to kill all of them with snipers, they counter-sniped them because Jerome was ready for them. And as such, now Firefly, Jerome on stage, and Freeze and Scarecrow bringing the chemicals. Whatever this plan is, it's fully functional and fully ready for mayhem. And I'm starting to think that Penguin was always supposed to betray them. But that's okay, because we still have Proto Batman on the job. And with Proto Batman is Gordon. And as such, when Gordon finally sends the police to do their jobs, they do it pretty good. And you know what? This is one of the things my friend Ross always says he wants to see in comic books. When the police just open fire and be like, bang, 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 bang. I mean, seriously, we see it in the real world often enough. Imagine what the real world Joker would happen. Seriously, the person who shot him would get a medal, not or maybe suspended for a week with pay, also known as a vacation. I mean, come on. And they do. And without that dead man switch, because of the thing, Gordon goes up and shoots him. He does only hit him in the shoulder, but hey, it was a good try. And then we get Bruce attacking Firefly and getting the gun away from her and knocking her out. And then we have the blimp show up. And that is when everything goes crazy. And who here would ever think that the phrase, thank God for the Penguin, he saved the day? But he did, because Jerome had him tied up. And as such, he was able to steer the blimp away right after Jerome gets shot. Like, I mean, really shot by the police. Bang! Like, I mean, that's pretty much what I was asking for. Then Jerome gets his final say. The fact that he's an idea, a concept, not a person. I'll be seeing you soon, Gordon. And of course, we all know that with his death, the Joker is still being born. I remember, maybe it was 2 seasons ago, when they had the Red Hood gang, and anyone wearing the Red Hood felt like something. And I remember when they first introduced Jerome. And I think we all know what happens next. Because the very concept of the villains that are running around are driving people mad. And the very idea of the Joker has been planted way too many times now. But in this insane city, we have a little more insanity go into Barbara when she sees a painting of kind of herself with Raish, and the fact that maybe he chose her because she looked similar to his long lost love. Then she kicks Tabitha out of the league. Rather interesting. But again, all the stuff with Bruce, all the stuff with Jerome, all the stuff with Firefly, all the stuff with Scarecrow was awesome though. But then we finally get the big reveal that was totally awesome. Death is just an illusion, and the League still works for the real Ra's al Ghul. And then, of course, there's the end sequence with Jerome leaving a last-minute gift for his brother. And this was expected by this point. But that's okay, because next week we're going to see even more. More Raish, more Dark Knight, more Bruce Wayne, more magic. And we're going to see Riddler back. And I have to say, there's part of me that wonders, what is Lee doing? Has she just turned into some sort of manipulative psycho liar where she's saying she loves him just to get him to work for her and get her to do stuff? If so, I actually kind of feel sorry for Ed, because that's a level of manipulation that just sucks. But alright, those were my thoughts. I'm curious what you think, especially as we approach the end of this season, with everything going on. Tell me what you think of Gotham and their new Joker. And of course, leave me a thumbs up, share this video, and if you haven't already, click the subscribe button, because I'm trying to build a community here. One that we can talk about the good and the bad of all the stories. Speaking of good and bad, I guess I'm off to watch Arrow. Hopefully it's better than last week. For now, I hope that you have a good night, and thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.